So let's get fucking into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Barroom Boys. I am Mondo here today with Beeve and Hodska. We know we've been gone a little bit. We've been on vacation just like all of you have, so bear with us. We've been seeing family, but boys, how was your breaks? What's been going on? Let's start with Beeve. I know you got your teeth pulled. How was that? Was it as bad as my experience? What went on here?
Yeah, Happy New Year, boys. Getting my wisdom teeth pulled wasn't that great of an experience. The day itself was fine. I went in, they shot me up with some anesthesia. They missed the vein the first time, so they shot me up twice. And I'm not a big needles guy. Like, it's one of the things that I hate. So that was not good. I just fucking like look away, like
Yeah.
whatever. But then they put me under. And I didn't feel anything till I woke up, which was good. I was able to like stand up on my own, I think. But
Mhm.
fucking the next couple days after was kind of brutal. I was just drinking smoothies and not really eating that much.
Yep.
I was off Percocet, which was the best part, to be honest. I saved my last Percocet until I built up some tolerance, and I was just fucking zoned out off the perk. Um, And yeah, now I was pretty swollen, but now I'm healed up pretty good, and I was able to play some golf while I was still in Florida. And I took a
Nice.
trip up to Raleigh, North Carolina, where I was for the past 3 days, where it was cold as shit.
Yeah.
I saw some good music, played some golf, and it was a good
Nice.
time.
Didn't you play Tobacco Road?
Yeah, I did. It was sick. You've heard
Dude,
of it?
that course looks
Awesome.
so cool.
Dude, it was incredible. It's a one of one for sure. One of one.
Yeah, that course looks
That's
sick.
sick.
It was cold as fuck though.
I bet. Yeah.
I had like 5 layers on, so the swing was a little stiff.
Yeah.
It's one of those courses where I made two doubles and a triple, and then I also made four birdies. So it's like if you hit the right shots, it's very gettable. But if you miss, like you're gonna hate yourself, and you're gonna hate your life, and you're gonna hate the course. But it's like keeps you coming back. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah,
That's
I
like my
want to
dude.
get there one day. Get down to there, see like Pinehurst and shit.
Yeah, very close to Pinehurst too.
Yeah.
Raleigh's cool too. North Carolina's a good state.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Former North Carolina boy.
I haven't been there, or I guess stopped there since Charlotte RLA, my freshman year.
Good times. Good
Driven
times.
through it and stopped the airport, but
Most degenerate road trip. That was never supposed to
Oh,
happen.
didn't y'all go on that ski trip in
I
Boone?
didn't go on that. That was our
I ain't go
freshman
on
year.
that one. Nah.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
So I guess none of us went.
I had exams,
It was a
bro.
sick ski trip. It was a good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hod, you were in Florida.
Yeah, I was in Florida Christmas Day until the 29th, so I got back last Friday. It was good. Good to see my grandparents who I haven't seen basically all of 2023. I saw them last year and around the same time. But yeah, it was good getting back to Florida. It was cold, but at least warmer than it is in Connecticut right now. So
What's the
that's good.
temperature there right now?
Today I think the high was like 35,
Oh my God.
36. Right now the real feel is 31.
Fucking hell.
That's brutal.
Yeah, so
Actually.
it hasn't snowed here as of yet, so that's a positive. Um, but yeah, I guess New Year's was fun. I went to Mohegan Sun, which is a casino with a bunch of my friends. What a roller coaster of a trip that was for me.
Yeah,
How'd
what
you end the
happened?
night?
What?
What happened?
Yeah, so we went at like 1 o'clock because they have like the sports book there. So we all sat there for football, sweating bets, sweating fantasy championships, yada yada yada. And then I started actually gambling, and I went down 300 within a span of like probably 10 minutes. Then I got it back and then went up another 600. So me and my boy were on the blackjack table and we were on a heater for like an hour and a half. And then again, that went south, got back to even, then went up like another 400. And then I ended up losing 250 of that. So I ended up gaining 150 before I went to like the bars and the clubs there. So I guess a positive day.
Atta
It's always
boy.
good to walk out of the casino with a win. So
Can't
I think,
complain.
yeah, I think collective Beef. I think you're mute.
Yeah, sorry, I was mute. There was a fire truck coming past behind me. I didn't want to interrupt the story. What I was saying is, when you're up, Hod, you just gotta leave. I don't know how you gamblers do it, bro. When you're up a couple $100, that's it.
Bro, because it hooks you in and it gets you.
Never
Because
give
that's
up.
the thing. It's like when I was there with I think there was like 11 of us. So it's like I'm not gonna be like the only one that's not gambling at the time and just watching everyone. But it's also like, all right, it's like we'll get text like, come over to roulette, we'll squad ride black. That loses. And then it's like the dealer gets blackjack 3 times in a row and you have like 20. There was one of the most ridiculous blackjack hands I've ever played in my life. So I had king and queen, so 20, and I had suited, so I got a little 15 to 1, even though I only put $1 on it, but it is what it is. Um, and the dealer was showing a 2, and then this card behind, of course, was a 9, right? When is it not a 9 and add up to 11? So
Always.
then obviously you're praying for no face. Wasn't a face, it was a 3. So it got to 14. Then an ace, 15. We're like, okay. Then another ace got to 16, and then a 5.
No shot.
Yeah.
You're
So
fucking joking.
I had I think $100 on that hand, and I got beat by 6 cards. 21.
That's fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah. Well, I think one of my friends had like 250 on it because he split because he had like an A or he had 2 aces off his thing, so he split and doubled, obviously.
Mm.
And he didn't get 21 either time. So he got a 9, so he had 20, and I think he had like a 6, so it was like 5 or 17 or something like that.
It's
And he
tough.
got killed too. So it was just brutal.
Oh,
After that, we stepped away, and that's when we were like, okay, we got to take a little break, go get some food.
that's
But
fucking heartbreaking, man.
yeah,
Absolutely heartbreaking.
yeah. But otherwise, it was a good night. So
Yeah,
that's what I've been up to, really.
complain. Love it.
Yeah. What about yourself? How was the bowl game?
Bowl game was good. That's actually a perfect segue. So I helped run the Boca Bowl. I was doing a lot of the on-field operations for it, so I was down on the field the whole time. It went really well, aside from the fact that Cuse got blown out 45-0. So I talked to the bowl director. I think we should instill a mercy rule next year. I'm assuming the Orange Bowl is going to follow suit after that Georgia FSU game.
We'll get there.
And possibly the Fiesta Bowl as well after Oregon Mollywop Liberty. But
Yep.
no, it was a great time. Had a lot of fun. You got to enjoy watching football field level. So did
Yeah.
that and then kind of went into break. Spent a lot of time with family. Went up to Connecticut.
Hmm.
Just hung out with family there and came back. And now I'm fucking working again. So the cycle restarts and we're back to it and
Yep.
ready to have some fun.
Hell
Yep.
yeah, brother.
But
It's a journey.
always is, man, always is. But yeah, that was the perfect segue. So let's start with some of the big games. Let's just go through like the New Year's Six. We'll kind of hit those, talk a little bit about some of the other games. But I mean, I guess let's just start off with the college football playoff. I feel like that makes the most sense. There's obviously been a lot of talk about it after Alabama's loss yesterday to Michigan, 27-20. First, I just want to say these were two absolutely amazing games.
Yeah.
They were amazing. You couldn't ask for better games if you wanted to watch. Um, but yeah, that play call on 4th down to end the game. I don't know why we're running a QB sneak. I know it was a low snap, but what the fuck was that, man?
Yeah, that was tough to watch because it was like such a good game up to it with like the turnovers, everything, like the 2 muff punts or the
Mhm.
almost muff punt that caused a safety with like 20 seconds to go. It was down to 1. from JJ McCarthy throwing a pick on the first play, but the guy was out of bounds. Like the game was nuts overall.
Yeah.
And for a 4th and 4 to keep going and go into double overtime with arguably the greatest head coach in college football history, and he does a QB spy right up the middle when Michigan runs 7 at you. He had a guy
Yeah,
wide
I
open in
get
the
it.
flat too, never even looked. If you're gonna run a QB spy, at least let him do like kind of like a Lamar. At least show
Mhm.
your passing first, and then if nothing's open, then take off. Monroe is fast, but I mean, watching that and sitting in a room with my friends watching who combined probably had like 1,500 on Alabama. It was kind of brutal. Kind of brutal.
Yeah, I mean, just the way it looked too. That final play, there were three defenders on the left side. Two of them are blocked by the receiver, and the last guy was already burnt around the edge by the running back in the flat. So it was like, as a football fan, that's a no-brainer throw right there. Even if you're called a QB sneak, like you
Yeah.
should be throwing that ball
He literally had the route
100%.
too, llooking it back. He had the route where Blake Corum scored the first touchdown where he
Hmm.
kind of shifted, the running back shifted. I think it was McClellan in the game at the time, which he had a
Yeah,
great game by the way. But he literally did like almost the same exact route, except didn't cut through the O line. He went to the left of it, but was wide open in the flat, just like Corum was when he scored a touchdown. And Corum's touchdown was there was no one within like 7, 8 feet of him. Like he easiest touchdown. I could have scored that. We all could have
yeah,
scored that.
easily.
And yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. It's all hypothetical at this point. But yeah, I guess congrats to Michigan.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say Michigan surprised a lot of people since they're the number one team in the country, but I mean, they look good. They scored points, right? They held Alabama. I mean, Alabama's offense kind of looked like what it was in like week 3, week 4, week 5 when they just couldn't get things going.
Yeah.
Milrow was good on the ground, but that was pretty much it. Their O line was atrocious. I
Yep.
mean, it cost them the game, arguably. I mean, it's
yeah,
hard to beat Michigan's front seven, but
Like,
at least show some effort on the final drive. But
yeah.
uh, I mean, at the end of the day, it came down to one play. So I mean, Michigan dominated the first half. Alabama kept it close. Alabama dominated the second half. Michigan kept it close.
Yep.
Pretty fair fight. I mean, I'm not the biggest Michigan fan. I was kind of hoping they'd lose 3 football playoff games in a row, but I mean, I guess hats off to them. Them against Washington is gonna be a hell of a game.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Can we
No,
talk or before we go move on to the next game, we got to talk about Alabama's line because them walking like right in front of and then through Michigan's team, walking into the tunnel and then giving up 5 sacks, which in one half, and 5 sacks, I think the record, I think that was the record for the most sacks ever given up in the state on like for one Saban team, and it was in one half.
5 sacks in a game
pitiful.
is the most on a Saban team.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think given up,
Holy shit.
and they
it
did it
was
in one half.
pitiful, man.
That's like an average Giants game.
Yeah,
Yeah, they couldn't block for shit. It was Swiss cheese in the first half. Granted, they did tighten up in the second half, but that's probably because Saban was just yelling at him the entire time.
mhm.
And
Yeah.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in that halftime talk because it's like you played awful, but you're only down 3.
Yeah. Like they were in it. They had the lead at one point. Like it wasn't the best game, but it's one of those that's always going to be one of the classics. You
Yeah,
take down the GOAT. You're Michigan. You get your first playoff win under Harbaugh. You're moving on to the fucking championship. Like everything's finally clicking your way. And guess who's still just chirping in the background, even though they're not there? These little fucking FSU guys just keep on chirping like they'd make a run. Let me put this on the record real quick for all you FSU fans.
go on a rant,
Would
Mondo.
have been absolutely curb stomped by every single team in the college football playoff this year. I get you don't have Jordan Travis, and you said if we had Tate, we'd be going on a run. You can kiss my fucking ass with that, man. I'd wipe my ass with Tate. Tate is dog shit. Your entire team is just not committed to win football games. The entire team opted out. What does that show about you guys? You have nothing to prove, and your only thing left is, hey, we can knock down the former number 1 seed to prove
Yeah,
that we are not a fraud. We are the team that should have been in the playoffs. Georgia should have been up there, and we're going to beat them. And you lose by fucking 60, and you're still chirping?
It goes to show that
60
Georgia should have
goddamn
been in.
points. UF didn't even make a fucking bowl game this year, and we didn't let up 60 to Georgia. I mean, that's terrible.
At full strength.
Kids are.
Yeah.
Like,
And they had Tate against us, and we only lost by 9 to Florida State.
Yeah, and they had Tate against Louisville, and they put up like what, fucking 13 points.
Yeah. And
yeah,
I
I
love the
don't
people.
know what la la land or what drugs these guys are on, but fucking hell.
Yeah. I
I
love
mean,
the
I get it. You should have been in it just based off merit. I'll give you that, whatever. But don't act like it would have been a competition.
Yeah,
Would have
no.
been
They
out
still
the door by the end of the first quarter.
would have lost regardless. If you look at the
Yeah.
stats, which I think is the funniest thing, because you see all like the FSU guys on Twitter today were running their mouths and like all of like the Florida State like Barstool account or Older account being like, "Oh my God, we should have been in. That was such a shitty game from Milrow. Brocklin, our third string, threw for more yards than Milrow." Like you're playing Michigan D, and yeah, okay, Brocklin did that against Georgia's third string freshman in the fourth quarter when they were up 60, and a guy was on Instagram live because he didn't play the second half because he was bored as shit. Like you're telling me, like, okay, if you're Florida State, you have all your good guys play, you would have won that game. They had the same amount of people sitting out that game that Georgia did. They both had 27 players, whether who opted out, were injured, or in the portal. Georgia didn't have their two best O linemen. They didn't have Brock Bowers, arguably a top 10 pick in the draft.
Arguably the best player in the fucking nation.
Exactly. They didn't have, I think, two of their starting linebackers, because two of the starting linebackers that were started for Georgia were true freshmen, and they didn't have a cornerback or something like that starting. Granted, I think Florida State was missing 11 starters. Georgia might have only been missing 7, but Georgia's entire team is rotational and they would have curb stomped them regardless. If they was playing full strength, I still think Florida State would have lost by maybe 28 if they had Travis. Maybe. But if they had Rodemaker, it still would have been 40.
I mean, yeah, Georgia, they just reload, right? I mean, you can get 30 guys opt out, you get 10 more 5 stars in there.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't even matter. FSU's third stringers are probably playing at Spanish River at some point.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous, man. Just sitting there and watching them like on Twitter and everything, how they are just so convinced that they were that team and they were going to go on the run and they would have proved everyone wrong.
It's almost like they forgot about and weren't on the sideline or weren't watching the Georgia game.
Dude,
They had the perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
They get to play Georgia.
Bro, I could have grabbed 10 people from the bar over here and put up a better fight than they did against Georgia. I mean, that was the least amount of effort I've ever seen. You could have sleptwalked and put up at least a touchdown.
Yeah. I mean,
I want to put up 3.
I want to know what Norvell was saying at halftime, because it's like they were down 42-3 at halftime.
Yeah.
And he's like, "All right, guys, I know we got screwed. We went undefeated, but now we're down 42-3. Are we going to give up?" Yeah, you basically already did. You can't come back from 42-3 in college football.
I mean, even Kirby Smart felt bad about it, right? He came after the game and started saying like, "Oh man, like this has got to change, right?
Yeah.
Like we can't have all these guys opt out because then we'll just put an ass whooping on a team like FSU."
But they had guys opt out too. And it just goes to show how much more dominant and how this was like the one and done story of Florida State. They didn't set up for their future. All their guys that were good, granted, they were a good team this year, deservedly top 6.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're all seniors. Like, what are they going to do next year? They just got DJ Uyunglele, which is a solid signing.
That's crazy. That was crazy. That news broke yesterday.
Yeah. They have no receivers. 4 of their corners and safeties are going into the draft. Like, they're gonna have to work the portal, or else they're gonna be screwed and be like a 7-5 team next year. But granted, they're in the ACC, so they could go undefeated again. But they'll be like a 12 seed at best because the ACC again has no one.
Yeah, and just to kind of touch on the opt out thing, bro. You're such a pussy if you opt out. Like, honest to God, I get that you don't want to get injured, but if you're an NFL team and you're looking at different talent and someone's opting out, there's no loyalty, there's no hard work there. You've given up on your team. Like,
You're
what
just
kind
being
of
selfish.
player, what message does that send when you draft that guy?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like the worst fucking thing you could do. Again, I get it. You don't want to get hurt. Like, good for you. I get you. But I mean, just to give up and throw in the towel when all your boys are trying to fight for it,
Hmm.
that's fucking pathetic.
I mean, I get opting out if you're playing in the fucking Tax Slayer Gator Bowl or some bullshit.
Yeah.
But you're playing in the Orange Bowl, lights on, night game in Miami Hard Rock Stadium, millions of people watching against Georgia, draft stock on the line. I mean,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Fucking break both your legs and have be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life, or are you gonna like sprain something and be out a few weeks? Like, I
Yeah.
mean, the odds are
Guess
the
what?
odds are
If you're
there.
that good, you'll still get fucking drafted, even if you're
Yeah.
hurt.
Yeah.
It's been
Exactly. And
done
it,
plenty of
it could even
times.
boost your draft stock too. Yeah, if you have a bad game, like okay, you still have a bunch of good tape and you have your chance to impress in the combine and stuff like that. If you have a good game against Georgia, you're Georgia is basically all those guys are trained to go to the NFL. You're basically playing a minor league NFL team. And if you have a good game against Georgia, say you're a cornerback and you lock up Georgia's best receiver, hold him to like 50 yards and he doesn't score on like 3 catches, that's going to look good to a bunch of NFL coaches. And that will make your draft stock rise at least a little bit from where you were projected.
No.
So I guess if you like Brock Bowers for me is like the perfect excuse of like why he should opt out because he was already hurt. Not play. He would if he played this game, he wouldn't have been 100%, and he could have risked his like draft stock future. Like you know what? Fair enough.
Mhm.
That's a fine excuse. But if you're like a Keon Coleman or a Jared Verse who coming off like the career years of your life, you have one more game and you're salty as shit going against Georgia because you thought you should be playing against Michigan and you're 100% ready, play. Like, come on.
Like, if Tate makes an NFL roster, I will be shocked
He's not
because
going to. He's in the
he
portal.
essentially he wrote in his message to the portal, I give up. I don't want to stick around here because there's no shot. There's nothing. I give up.
Yeah, he
What does
wasn't going
that
to.
say to an NFL team?
Yeah,
Oh, the going gets tough. You guys have a down year. You're just gonna opt out. See you later. We'll see you next season. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what did they think was gonna happen when they opted out? Did they think they were, gonna pull some miracle out of their ass?
Probably.
Or did they just
Probably.
know they were gonna get curb stomped and have
They
the
went
whole country
undefeated for
making
a
fun of
reason.
them for the rest of history?
They probably were suckers that bet on Florida State plus 20.5.
that's crazy.
I mean, Georgia
I,
was it was so free. It was free money.
it's just unbelievable that we're still talking about this and they think they can still compete.
Yeah.
Because this next one we're talking about, it wouldn't have been just by 60, it would have been by 70 or 80. Washington and Texas would have body bagged Florida State. But Washington won 37-31. I have a futures on them plus 1800. So I am cheering big time for them heading into the championship. But again, this is a great game for all I got to see of it. I mean, I fell asleep halfway fucking through.
Yeah.
You got to do something about these start times, man, because I can't do this shit anymore.
I was gonna
It's
say the
awful.
same thing. You can't have a game like that start at 9 p.m.
It's
halftime at
terrible.
11 o'clock. I don't even know what time the game ended because I was a
Dude, I
goner.
couldn't tell
Yeah,
you.
and I woke up this morning because I went to bed at halftime. I fell asleep like you guys, and I woke up to like reading on my phone from text at like 12:44. Like, holy shit, Texas is driving, and like yada yada. And I think the final play was like when I knew it was over, my friend said in all caps, "Let's go" at 12:49 last night.
Like, bro,
Yeah,
I'm going to work at 7:30.
yeah, exactly.
Like, you got me fucked up if you think I'm staying up.
You know what also is
Fucking sports and it's not even fucking worth it.
you
Like,
know what
that's
else
lame.
yeah. what also is tough is like they're treating college football, which they should be. I mean, everyone was watching, especially the Alabama Michigan game.
Mm-hmm.
One, that should have been the second game.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, you had all day, you had all New Year's Day, and you
Yeah.
choose arguably the worst time for on paper the worst game, Texas Washington. Like everyone wanted to watch Alabama, like Michigan. They should have put that one as like the appetizer and then the entree Alabama Michigan if they
Let's
were
do
smart.
3 p.m., 7 p.m.
Easy.
Yeah,
Easy
exactly.
work. You're done by
Exactly.
11, you get to
Yeah.
KO. Easy.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, bro, it's just
I mean, the Super Bowl is at 6, right?
Super Bowl's at
yeah.
6:30. This game's at 7:30, I think. The championship next week, next Monday.
That'll be ideal. That's
Fine.
better.
That's better, but the game's still with commercials and everything because the halftime was 30 minutes each. It was like a Super Bowl halftime. And there was, I guess, performances and stuff, but at least show the performances. All we saw was goddamn commercials and analysis.
Oh, so
Now, are we
nightmare.
getting a halftime show for the Natty next Monday?
I hope so.
I mean, there's got to be something.
Yeah, give me I don't know. We got Usher for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
So, who would your ideal halftime show be for the college football championship?
Maybe like Garth Brooks or something.
Yeah. Something like,
Something college.
you know what would be dope? Like a Steven Tyler type guy.
Yeah.
Go on, rock the stage for 20 minutes. Play
Like
like
bring the Rolling Stones back or something.
yeah, play like four classic hits. All you need is 4 songs.
See, I'm
Boom.
thinking more in terms of like a college tailgate type vibe.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like EDM type stuff. I don't know. That's just me though. Like David Guetta, that would be kind of a banger.
That would be lit. Yeah.
But I don't know. That could be a good draft in the future.
I'm
Yeah.
done. I'm over David Guetta. Isn't he like 50?
Yeah, but he puts out bangers, and you
Yeah.
know,
He has a lot of hits because
like Eminem. Like Eminem's 50. He just puts out straight bars every time. Like it.
Every time I think of
Go
David
with
Guetta now, I think of that one video that he made during COVID where he's on the rooftop and he's like, "We just got to come together with music," while fucking thousands of people a day were dying and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Uh,
imagine him doing that at the college football championship. You know how many more people would listen in?
Yeah.
Way
mean,
more of an impact.
you got Michigan, you got Washington.
Where are
I
you
don't
leaning?
know what you get for college halftime show. Maybe like, maybe like Luke Combs or something.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you what I'm sick of is the fucking marching bands being the halftime show. I don't give a fuck about your marching band, bro.
I know.
Like, leave that for the Macy's parade. I don't need that shit.
Actually, I think it was the University of Florida and the Florida State marching band. I think they did a Super Bowl halftime show back in the day together.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Still wouldn't want to watch that. I'd be taking a shit and eating food.
You know what
I wouldn't stick around for it.
I will say though, what was kind of fire when I knew Michigan got the ball back with what, a couple minutes to go, and they had to drive the entire length of the field to score the game-winning tying touchdown, and they called the timeout, and in the band you just hear right above it by Drake them just blasting it through like all like the drums and the trumpets.
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
was sick.
they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. I was like, that would fire me up.
I will say the Rose Bowl is a fantastic venue,
Oh,
great venue.
incredible.
Iconic.
Incredible.
but everyone knows that.
The
And from
parade.
what I saw in the second game, Quinn Ewers is the next Aaron Rodgers,
Yep.
and Michael Penix
He's
just doesn't get touched.
he's a
Bro,
dog.
he is nasty. I was telling some of my coworkers that I was like, this dude is making passes that I haven't seen some NFL players make. Like,
ridiculous.
I mean, just absolute perfect balls, triple coverage, just dotted right into the basket. I'm like, how
Yeah.
the hell do you do that?
He's been doing that all year.
I know.
Every
Like,
game,
it just
every
blows
game.
my fucking
It,
mind.
it literally looks like he's like the throwing version of like a Lamar Jackson, where if Lamar takes off, you're like, okay, something's about to go. He's about to hit a juke and he's about to go and do something spin move crazy. But he just does it with his arm, and you're like, it's like Mahomes basically, where you're just like, except instead of sidearms and yada 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 lefty throws, it's just throws that you're like, why would you ever
Wow.
throw that? But they work
Yeah.
every single
You
time.
just don't get it. It doesn't make sense.
Like that one, I always go back to that one. I think it was against USC earlier this year where he just scrambled out of the pocket, had nothing, and he just threw it up like along the sidelines, and a guy just made a toe tapping like perfect dot in the end zone, like right before halftime. And I was just, what the hell? Like this guy's ridiculous.
Just unbelievable talent. Unbelievable.
And he was kind of like that at Indiana too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He was.
yeah.
Indiana is like the bottom feeder of the Big Ten now. They're the Vandy of the Big Ten, but they won. They were over 500 when he was there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, my
All right.
sister goes to school there, and we were watching the game last night. I was like, I go to my sister, I'm like, Kate, it's your former quarterback. She's like, what? I'm like, this guy was at Indiana. She's like, oh wait, was he really? And I was like, yeah.
That's how little it is such a basketball school. It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She
They
can
just
name like
do
every
not give
single
a shit about
basketball player.
football.
Oh yeah. She
That's
can name like almost every single basketball player. The guys last year that when they knocked out Purdue, she couldn't name a single goddamn football player if she tried.
Dude, it is wild.
Nobody goes to their games either.
No. And
Dude,
then you look at the basketball stadium, it's packed, filled to the brim.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, people actually go to school here. Like, that's
Yeah.
kind of wild.
Yeah, I went to my first Indiana game this year in November. They were playing Michigan State at home. My family and I had tickets in row 4 right on the 50-yard line, and I think they costed for the 4 tickets that we had, I think it costed a combined like maybe $75
What?
Damn. That's
for
it.
like for the 4 tickets for a Big Ten
Isn't there
college
demand?
football game. It was
Who'd they
like
play?
they played Michigan State. Another like shitty team this year, but still,
Big
like
Ten.
there was no one at the game, no one in the student section. Granted, it was the week before Thanksgiving break, so like I guess that had something to do with it. But my sister literally said like, yeah, they were like giving away student tickets for free this week because they just wanted people to go to the game.
That's
That was like my sister's like first football game she went to all year because she just goes to the tailgates and just blacks out at every one.
Yeah, you're putting her on blast on the pod like that. That's tough.
I remember those days.
He doesn't care. I mean, we did the same thing. And if Florida played like a Charlotte 49ers where we know they're going to win by 42, like
dude, even against the big games, I didn't make it to the game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Like it's like go and taste. Like if there was a noon game in the swamp when it's 100 degrees out and I know we're going to win by 42, it's like, okay, I'm just going to drink and maybe watch the game at the house or at a bar or something like that rather than go to the game and be miserable. She did the same exact thing. So
makes sense to me.
It does get hot in the swamp. I was a go for one half and leave type of guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like to go.
Beef
Yeah.
would always find his way back into my room for the second half of the game. He'd walk in, he's disheveled. He's like, yeah, we just walk back. Where are we trying to eat? Like, where are we trying to get for food? It's like, let's get Chipotle. Every single time.
Don't say Chipotle, y'all. There after this.
Let's get Chipotle and then we'll watch the game.
Yeah, I guess before we move to NFL, there's one more college football thing I want to bring up, and that's what Jim Harbaugh said about J.J. McCarthy after the game and how he's the greatest quarterback to ever play for the University of Michigan.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's such comedy.
I mean, besides Tom Brady, who?
Bro, I put Denard Robinson over him.
Yeah.
Tom Brady won a Rose Bowl. He's got that going for him.
Has J.J. McCarthy been on the cover of an NCAA football 14 or NCAA football game video game? No. I don't think so.
Yeah, I haven't heard Denard Robinson in years. That man was insane.
Yeah.
Denard, that's the man.
Yeah. I mean,
there's gotta be another Michigan quarterback that's relevant.
I mean, he's the most winning, J.J. McCarthy. That's probably a given. But
yeah, but it's not like that's such a stupid stat.
I know.
Like that shouldn't count.
Ryan Greasy.
I mean, he was
Like,
good.
bro, I'd be the most winning if I had the weapons he has. Like, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous. It was literally a run heavy offense. He didn't do shit.
This Blake Corum had the most touchdowns in Michigan history this season on the ground.
Jim Harbaugh was quarterback at Michigan.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a better quarterback than Jim Harbaugh.
Congratulations. Look where that'll get you.
Hey, Jim Harbaugh was a stud back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. All right, let's go over to the actually first. Who are we picking? Let's just go through it. Who's winning the championship?
I know you got Washington,
Yeah.
obviously, because of your future, so you're in for them. I haven't looked at the line yet. Do you know what the early line is right now?
I want to say 4.5.
Let me
4.5.
look.
I'm looking at it right now just because I'm just curious.
I'm not sure, but
I'm seeing Michigan minus 4.5. Over under is 55.
55.
Yep. Personally, in this game, I think Washington has a better offense and Michigan has a better defense. I think that's what it comes down to. The old classic saying, offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. And I think Michigan's defense will get it done. And this season will be marked with an asterisk forever and ever.
Yeah. All right.
What about
On to the NFL.
What about Beef's pick?
I don't know. I thought Beef Michigan.
I'm gonna pick Washington. I think Penix is just gonna throw for like 5 touchdowns. Like that's what he does. He throws for 300 plus yards. That's what he does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be a good game.
I mean, it's not like they're gonna stop Penix, right? Like it's not like Penix is gonna have a 150-yard game. I don't see that happening.
Teams have tried and they failed.
And McCarthy is good, but I mean, it really comes down to the run game for Michigan, right? If Corum can get it going, I mean, their defense is good. They make a couple stops, but like, can they put up more points than Washington?
Yeah.
All right, we ready for this? I'm about to go through all the playoff scenarios for the NFL in rapid fire succession.
All right,
Can you do it?
We'll let you cook,
and then we'll dive into it. All right, the AFC. The Bills are in with the win versus Dolphins. Steelers lost or tied. Jags lost or tied. Texans Colts tied. Jags are in with the win at the Titans. Tie at the Titans and Steelers lost or tie. Or Steelers loss and Broncos loss or tie, and Texans Colts doesn't end in a tie. Colts are in if they win versus Texans, tie versus Texans, and Steelers loss or tie. Texans are in with the win at the Colts, tie at Colts, plus Jags loss, plus Steelers loss or tie. The Steelers are in with the win at Ravens and Bills loss, win at Ravens and Jags loss or tie, win at Ravens and Texans Colts tie at Ravens and Jags loss, and Texans Colts doesn't end in a tie. Jags loss and Denver win, and Texans Colts doesn't end in a tie. You got all that? It's the AFC.
Could someone clip how many times he said the word tie in that span?
Oh, just wait, it gets worse. In the NFC, the Bucks get in with the win at the Panthers, tie at Panthers, and Seahawks loss, and Packers loss or tie.
Not happening.
Saints are in if they win at the Falcons, Buccaneers loss or tie to the Panthers. Win at Falcons and Seahawks loss or tie, and Packers loss or tie. Tie at Falcons and Seahawks loss, and Packers loss. Falcons are in with the win versus the Saints. The Bucks lose to the Panthers. Packers are in. They win versus the Bears. They tie at Bears and Seahawks lose or tie, and Saints lose or tie. Tie at Bears and Seahawks lose and Bucks lose. Tie at Bears and Seahawks tie and Bucks lose. Vikings loss or tie, and Seahawks loss, and Buccaneers loss. Vikings loss or tie, and Seahawks loss, and Saints loss. Seahawks are in if they win at the Cardinals, and Packers lose or tie to the Bears. Tie at Cardinals, and Packers loss, and Bucks loss or tie. Tie at Cardinals, and Packers loss, and Saints loss or tie. The Vikings are in with the win at the Lions, and Packers lost to the Bears, and Seahawks lost to the Cardinals, and Saints lost to the Falcons. Win at Lions, and Packers lost to Bears, and Seahawks lost to Cardinals, and Bucks lost to Panthers. Thank you.
I got 21 times in the
NFC. Some may call me an auctioneer. I
call myself special. I missed all of the AFC ones.
Okay. Do you want me to go through it again?
No, I'm kidding.
Just to slowly go through the divisional ones, just to see who clinches what. So in the NFC East, if the Cowboys win, and the Eagles either lose or tie to the Giants, or what?
If the Cowboys win, they get the 1 seed in that division because the Eagles
Yes,
lost to
that's
the
all you
Cardinals.
need to know.
That's all you need
The
to know.
Eagles take it if they win at Giants, the Cowboys lose or tie at Commanders, or if they tie at the Giants and the Cowboys lose. You
What if
follow
they both win? Who has the tiebreaker between
If
each
they
of them?
both
what?
if they both win, I'm pretty sure Dallas has
Cowboys.
are
Okay.
1 game up because they won against the Lions and the um Eagles lost against the Cardinals this week.
Yeah. So for the NFC South, if the Bucks win at the Panthers or tie at Panthers,
They get it.
and the Saints lose or tie, they get in.
If the Bucks win, they're in.
Yes.
If the Saints
The
lose, the
Saints
Bucks are
win,
in.
the Bucks lose, they're in.
Yeah.
If the Falcons win against the Saints and the Bucks lose to the Panthers, the Falcons are in.
Yep.
For the AFC South, if the Jags win at Titans, or if they tie and Colts Texans tie, the Jags are in.
Yo,
Yep.
can you cut out the ties because that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. All right. If the Jags win, they're in. If the whoever because the Colts or Texans play, whoever wins that game and the Jags lose, that team's in.
Yeah. And then the AFC East is by far the most complicated.
Mhm.
Whoever wins Bills Dolphins is in.
Yeah.
Like that's who wins it. So that was every single scenario in like a 2-minute span.
Mm-hmm.
Slow it down if you need to, but that was everything you need to know for this weekend. It's
Yeah.
going to be a clusterfuck. There are literally 20 teams that are vying for a playoff spot right now. Never happened before.
I think the Bills have the wildest predicament, right? Because they win and they're like what the 3 seed or the
If
2
they win, they're the 2 seed. If they lose and the Steelers
The-
win,
then
I
they're
think
out of the
they're
playoffs.
out. Yeah. It's crazy.
And I was saying this yesterday. If any team can beat the unbeatable Ravens right now, it's probably the Steelers.
And
Division.
Lamar's not gonna play. Like they already clinched the number 1 seed. They clinched home field advantage throughout the playoffs. They're not playing all their stars. Steelers are favored right now against the Ravens.
Wow. And it's in Pittsburgh.
It's in Pittsburgh and it's Tomlin. So
And Mason Rudolph.
yeah, going
It's
against a bunch of
doable.
guys that I probably never heard of because the Ravens guys are sitting.
Yeah, but don't the Ravens have a Pro Bowl backup?
Oh yeah, they do. Tyler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't forget about that.
Oh my God, yeah, you're right. Great call.
The Ravens are deep, bro. They're deep.
Yeah.
But yeah, playoffs are gonna be incredible. Even if you're not a big NFL fan, which it's shocking if you're not.
Yeah.
This will be worth watching just to see all the chaos and all the hurt feelings on Twitter. I promise you that.
Bro, Red Zone's gonna go crazy on Sunday. The
Yeah.
last one of the year with all the scenarios.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait.
This is gonna be so lit.
Let's talk about something else on the complete opposite end of playoff talk. If you are the Bears, what do you do? Beeve, let's start with you.
You keep Justin Fields. What the fans want, it's probably what the players want. You build around him. You have 2 of the top 5 or 6 picks. I'd trade down that number 1 pick, get maybe another first round pick, get 2 top 10 picks and a late first rounder. And I'd probably take Marvin Harrison.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
I would
For the biggest fucking offensive lineman in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd do the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Right now, I would say I would threaten like the team like the Patriots who need a quarterback, the Giants who are looking to take a quarterback, or teams that have like a lower, maybe like the Raiders, and be like, hey, Caleb's going to go off the board, and what's his face is Drake May is probably going to be off the board. If you want a quarterback, we'll trade down with you, and they'll get another ton of picks. They'll take an offensive lineman, and if they'll take Marvin Harrison or Malik Neighbors if they were depending on where they trade down, and they'll be chilling. And they'll have a ton of picks again next year, and they'll basically be a rinse and repeat.
Yeah, ultimately, I think it'll come down to two teams trading for that pick. I think it'll be the Commanders and the Patriots. Just because they are also early up in the first round. So if they wanted to trade back and get Marvin Harrison, those would be the two teams to do it with.
I think it would be the Patriots. One, I'm kind of
I'd
biased,
hope you'd say that.
but two, that the Cardinals already have, or the Commanders already have the number 2 pick. And if right now the Bears, without any trades, they probably are thinking about taking Marvin Harrison, just because if they've already kind of said that they want to keep Fields, and Fields is kind of like right now leaning towards being that guy for the future.
Mhm.
So the Commanders are probably looking pretty good right now and being like, hey, we're probably going to get Caleb Williams. Or worst comes to worst, he gets taken, we take Drake May and reunite him and Sam Howell in the same locker room. So I think the Patriots would be the most likely trade to be like, okay, well, if you want Caleb or Drake, one of them's probably going to go. So if you want to make sure that you get the guy that you want, you got to trade up here. So,
No,
but
like
again,
how
I could
hot?
see the
Go ahead.
Patriots trading up to the number 1 pick and taking Will Reichert out of Alabama. So,
He's gonna get drafted for sure.
oh yeah, oh without a doubt, he's the best college kicker in history.
Yeah.
He doesn't miss. He didn't miss.
I love it.
Now, like, how hot do you think NFL GMs are on Caleb Williams? Because in my opinion, there's better quarterbacks in the country.
They're saying he's the generational talent.
Yeah, he's like the
He is the Mahomes of
yeah, exactly.
college.
They're trying to get ahead of the curve, being like trying to figure out the Mahomeses before another Mahomes goes like 10th overall again. And if he's this generational prospect, which they say he is, then he's gonna go 1. He's the youngest one out of the class too. Him and May are the youngest. They're both 22. I think Jaden Daniels is 23, and then Penix and Bo Nix are both 24. So from age wise and development wise, that's why that they're the 2 highest on the board.
Yeah. And I would say, like, don't necessarily sleep on Hartman and Bo Nix. I know I'm boys with Hartman, but like, dude,
They're good
they've
guys. They're
shown that they've got what it takes to succeed. They put in the work. Like, it's the same kind of scenario as like a Tom Brady talent, essentially. Not
yeah.
necessarily him, but like, they're your typical passing quarterback, stay in the pocket, get you downfield, manage the game well. And, some teams just need that. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all they need.
I mean, this quarterback class is insanely deep. I mean, you got the main
Really?
5 that we just talked about. Then you also have like JJ McCarthy could declare, Quinn Ewers could declare,
Mm-hmm.
like Hartman's declaring because he's old enough. Like that's 8 good quarterbacks right there in the draft.
Yeah.
That
Jordan Travis.
Travis, yeah,
Mhm.
9 right there that can either come in and make an immediate impact and compete, maybe not for the starting job, but in some teams, yeah, sure, or at least be a solid backup.
Oh,
Why not
100%.
take a shot? And then it's also a deep receiver class. I mean, you got Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, Keon Coleman, Roma Duns. Like, there's a ton of guys that are first round picks. So it should be
Yeah.
interesting.
No, I'm excited to see what happens. I think it's going to be a great year to be a rookie in the NFL. Like, there's going to be a lot of talent coming out of college football this year. So
Yeah.
should
Especially on
be
the offensive
exciting to
side.
watch. All right. Shall we get into it?
Yeah. Let's go.
Do it.
In honor of the new year, today's draft is what are you looking forward to most in 2024? We made some rules beforehand, being like it can't be too personal to yourself. So you can't be like, I'm excited to go. We'll use Hod's example. I'm excited to go on my vacation to blah, blah, blah. It's got to be more generalized than that, or
Yeah.
more
Like
broader scale.
you could say like traveling, like as a broad scale because everyone travels, but you can't be like my traveling to Italy this summer because that's just you. If
Yeah.
that makes sense to the public.
But yeah.
So at least something that like generalized so that like everyone has at least the capability of doing rather than like it being so personalized that only you're doing it.
Yeah. All right. We know the drill. Put them up. Rock, paper, scissor, shoot. So does that mean I pick? I forget how we do it. Am I
I
the
don't
odd
know.
one out? Was that what we did? Or do I
Yeah,
lose?
I'll go versus Hod.
All right, go
Okay.
ahead.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
All
All
right,
right.
Hot, pick the order.
Okay. Um, I haven't gone third in a while, so I'm gonna go third. Um, Looking back at the last draft, it looks like Beeve went first. So Beeve, you'll go second this time, and then Mondo, you'll lead us off.
All right. The first pick, this is a no-brainer giving the climate of this year. Anything Donald J. Trump is involved in. That is what I'm looking forward to. You've got the Republican Party debates. You have one trial. You have another trial. Anything Trump is involved in is must-see TV, and I cannot fucking wait to watch. Let alone the possibility of a fucking election with him. Anything with Trump, I cannot wait to watch it happen and just see a shit show unfold. So I mean, that was a no-brainer number one pick for me.
So I guess presidential election is off the table.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in my I kind of categorized them in mine. What I was gonna say, like if I had that, because that was on. I feel like that was on everyone's board. In mine, I had like presidential election slash debate.
All right, yeah, I guess yeah, this isn't my pick. This could be an honorable mention, like second overall. But the fucking Biden debate, I can't wait for that shit. Are
Yeah.
you kidding
I'm
me?
so excited.
Are you kidding me?
Trump,
Gonna be
like,
great.
it's just the amount of media attention and the outrage and the support and like all just the fucking chaos. Like, as someone who doesn't give a shit about politics and just watches for entertainment,
Yep.
I live for this horse shit, man. I really do.
Yep.
It's so toxic. I mean, we're excited now, but we're forgetting like October what October looks like of a presidential election
It's
with the
chaos.
Oh.
schools. People are more on edge than ever before. You got all the liberals coming out of the wood. I mean, they're already out of the woodworks, but they're fucking spewing all their nonsense.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. You know, it is what it is, but it's gonna be bad for our country. Either way, I think some strings are gonna be pulled behind the scenes, and you know, Trump is some shit's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Some shit is gonna happen.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
it's,
guess
yeah.
I guess just to put it like kind of small, just put it like Trump chaos on the graphic. I
I
feel
just
like that was way too many words.
on the graphic I put presidential chaos
All right, I'll take that.
because it's not just it mostly is going to come from Trump, but it can come from every other person too.
That works. That works.
Now, like, I don't know if y'all saw Biden. I'm not trying to like get political or whatever, but like on New Year's Eve, they like interviewed him, and he didn't even say anything that made sense.
Yeah,
The election is a year away.
I
What is
know.
he gonna be like?
I know.
What how is he gonna debate Donald Trump?
Yeah.
I don't understand. What are they gonna shoot him up with?
Yeah.
Every time I think about it, it's just the Shane Gillis clip from his stand-up set. Where
Yeah.
like Joe Biden's the only one who can succeed against Trump in a debate because you just can't fucking hear him. He just-
Yeah.
All right, enough of that. My second overall pick, I'm gonna go with summertime.
Yeah.
it's a vibe.
It's cold as fuck here where hot is, you know.
Yep.
Most of the country it's cold as shit. In a couple months it's gonna be warm, and that's where I thrive. I'm thin blooded. I am a fucking iguana. I freeze
Yeah.
up in the winter. Uh, yeah, give me some summertime, some longer days.
Yep.
Need that.
I agree. My first pick of my back-to-back, I'm gonna go with something that happens once every 4 years. And that's the Olympics. Olympics will be in Paris this summer. I love watching the Olympics. It's a fun month of throwing on, especially when it's dry in sports. We're leading up to college football. Football starting back up. It's really only just baseball on. It's
Mhm.
fun watching the 100-meter dash, all the swimming events. So
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to watching that.
Caleb Dressel,
Yeah, exactly. Go Gators. And then
Becky.
yeah. And then my next pick, I'm gonna keep it within the end of the sports theme, but I think my favorite weekend of the year, and that's just March Madness. Every year, I'm always looking
Yeah.
forward to it, and this year especially because this year, again, kind of like last year, there's no clear number one team, so it's just gonna be chaos, and I'm here for it.
Mhm.
Yeah, college basketball is great in the sense that it seems like every single year the top 10 looks completely different.
Oh yeah, there's always the same kind of similar teams. Like you always see the Kentuckys and the Gonzagas and the Dukes of but
Mhm.
you never know what order they're gonna be in.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
you'll get a Marquette, you'll get an
Yeah.
Xavier.
Yeah, you'll get a Virginia, but they always will lose second round in the tournament.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be nice.
Beef.
Uh I am gonna go with 12 team playoff.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Granted, these past two games last night have been the best playoff games that we've probably seen. There's been some great ones, but there hasn't been two great ones in
That's
one day.
Hmm.
You throw in 12 teams in there, you're going to get a team like Missouri this year who won
Oh
10
yeah.
games, who's going to knock off a top seed. You'll get a team like FSU who won't, be bitching and moaning anymore.
Hmm.
And there'll be like less chaos because you're taking 12 teams. Like you can
Less
have an
opt
argument, you can have
outs.
a very valid argument for the 13th ranked team being left out. There's not going to be any whining. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yes, there will be blowouts, no doubt, but I think the great games will override it.
Yep.
It'll be good.
I'm excited for the March Madness style of football.
Yeah.
And like we were talking about earlier, there will be less opt outs and less players entering the transfer portal. So people will stop being pussies.
And less time between the end of the season
Oh, it'll be every weekend. It'll be great.
and the first round is a home playoff environment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Electric.
It's gonna be nuts.
I'm gonna take it over to baseball.
Hmm.
What am I looking forward to in the baseball season? Shockingly, it's not the Yankees winning it. It's not the Red Sox looking foolish. Thing I'm looking forward to most is the Dodgers inevitably choking this year. And it will happen.
It'll happen.
Super teams,
Yeah.
they never work for baseball. The Dodgers are no exception. It is gonna happen to them. They will choke. Mark my words. Come back to this exact point in the podcast.
Yep.
Dodgers will choke.
Right. Super teams just don't work.
Never, never do.
What works
Um,
is nine dogs,
Yeah.
not five divas.
yep.
Yeah.
Next thing I'm looking forward to, and this is fast forwarding. I'm looking forward to the first Octobox slash NFL Red Zone broadcast of the 2024 season. There's nothing better than racing home from whatever I'm doing, sitting my fat ass on the couch, cracking a beer, and watching that Octobox with Scott Hansen's most beautiful face on my TV. There
Yep.
is nothing better than that.
Oh, without a doubt. Beef, you got the next.
Yeah, I know. Pause, but did y'all, Mondo? I know you were talking about baseball. I saw a hilarious video today. It was David Ortiz
Bro.
uh, at his gender reveal party for his son. Obviously David Ortiz at a gender reveal. What else are you gonna do but hit a baseball, right?
Yep.
David Ortiz, Hall of Fame slugger, 500 plus home runs. What do you do? Swung and missed.
Bro, I gotta find this video because someone overlaid the heat map of his hitting career, and where it was thrown was right in the coldest zone of his team. I was dying.
Swung and missed.
Let me find this shit. I was cracking up.
It's a boy though.
Bro, look at he was hiding inside, fucking diced his ass up.
Hey, at least he was going for it.
Yeah, I respect the hell out of it.
All right. Anyway, my next pick is a no-brainer. Give me Augusta National and the Masters tournament.
Yeah.
I knew
I
that
know
was
you
coming.
guys saw that commercial for it during the Rose Bowl yesterday. There's always that commercial come December, January, just says coming in April. Like you don't know it's coming in April.
Yeah.
They take some crazy drone shots, just get you juiced up. I don't know. It's literally perfect. The course is perfect. The field is small and perfect. Tiger's playing, Rory's playing, all the live guys are playing. It's gonna be juicy.
It's gonna be good. Must watch TV. That was actually gonna be my next pick, but I knew it wouldn't be my next pick because I knew you were gonna take it. So it looks like I've had to come up with some backups, but good thing I have some. So with my first pick, I'm gonna take another thing that happens every 4 years. And that's gonna be February 29th. We got an
Attaboy.
extra day this year, boys. It's leap year.
It's a leap year.
Yeah,
Oh shit!
Pop a bottle.
I didn't see that one coming.
yeah. So yeah, we got 366 days this year, so we got to make it count because it won't come again until 2028. So that'll be fun. And then my next pick. Now I pray this happens because it's supposed to, but it may not. But as of now, it's supposed to. So I'm gonna take it, and that's the new video game of NCAA 24. I'm praying it comes out and it's actually not a hoax and they don't delay it, but it's expected to come out right before the season starts. So if it does come out or when it does come out, you bet my ass I'm going to be sitting there and playing that game every night.
That's a big if.
Big if, but if it does,
If it comes out, Mondo, I'm getting a console.
yeah, I am too. I would need
Oh,
one too.
I'm getting a
now I'm
console.
praying. Now you got me up here on my knees praying.
Last
Yeah.
time I saw it was expected to come out July, August of 2024, according to this article.
Let me take a
So,
look, see if there's any update here. Nothing. But I'm saying a prayer. I hope we get to play.
yep, I do too.
Beef?
Um, yeah, there's nothing. My next pick, I am gonna go with the Stanley Cup playoffs. Always great,
Mhm.
always electric, never disappoints. 7 game series, always comes down to the final stretch, game 7. You got guys just going after it, guys losing their teeth, breaking bones, coming back the next day. I mean, it's electric. The fans are insane. And it's good. It's good TV. Even if you don't like hockey, it's great TV. I mean, what else is on in June when they take fucking 6 days off between NBA Finals games? It's like, what else are you
Yeah,
gonna do?
that is true.
Um, did anyone say Super Bowl?
No one said it. Go ahead.
I guess I'll take Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I I'm gonna be honest, I really didn't know kind of what to do after that. I'm kind of shook here. Um, take a look here. Ooh, Copa America. Big soccer thing. Copa America.
Yeah.
Hod, you're
Hell
laughing at me.
Oh, yes, I am.
Why?
I'll wait until my next pick.
Okay. My next pick, I am gonna go with Oklahoma and Texas coming to the SEC.
Yeah.
It's long awaited. I think we know. I think we have a general sense of how Texas is going to fare. I think they're going to be all right. I think they're going to be, a
Oh
10-win type
fuck.
team. But I think the big question mark is Oklahoma, and I don't think anything will be sweeter than Oklahoma just being in the shitter for the next couple seasons, just because they can't beat SEC teams. So
Yeah.
Damn it. All right, Hod, just do it.
Did you figure out what I'm gonna say for my next one?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So again, every 4 years, it's the Euros. And the Euros, in fact, are more entertaining than the Copa America, even though the Copa America is great. And of course, we'll be rooting for the US. The Euros are just great because every basically every European country has a shot. There's so many more teams get in the World Cup. You get to see so many different players that weren't in the World Cup play in the Euros, represent their country, and it basically acts like the World Cup. The group play is insane. It's on like the World Cup. So
is it the same format?
same exact format.
Okay.
Yeah, it replaces every kind of continental cup is this year. Like the AFCON starts actually in next month, so that's like the African Cup of like the World Cup. The
No.
Copa America is North and South America, so that's what US will be playing in. I think there's the Asian Cup, which I don't know when really that is, but I think it's in next November. And then the Euros is the summer. And
Uh,
my boys are actually going to a game, so they'll be out there for 2 games. So be looking for them on the TV as well.
is it like all across Europe, or is there like one like host country a year every
So the
4 years?
host country this year is Germany. So it'll be all over the state of Germany, or I
That's,
guess the country of Germany.
that's
So Munich, Dusseldorf, Cologne, all those places.
They got a Ukrainian team this year.
Um, I believe, did they qualify? Let me check. Because all of the
I
countries,
don't know how many able-bodied men are left in Ukraine these days.
all of the countries are out, and the group stages are out now. So I believe that Ukraine is in the playoff. So there's playoffs to get into the groups. There's 4 playoff spots. So they are in the playoff. So maybe they'll be in. Maybe they won't be.
Pray for Ukraine.
Pray for Ukraine. So, um, before I recap it, you guys want to do some honorable mentions?
Was that it?
Yeah, that was the 5. I guess I'll recap the draft now. Mondo, you took presidential chaos, the LA Dodgers choking, the NFL Week 1 Octobox, Super Bowl, and the Copa America. Beeve, you took summer, took the 12-team college football playoff, you took the Masters, Stanley Cup playoffs, and Oklahoma and Texas joined the SEC. And then I have the Paris Olympics, March Madness, Leap Year or February 29th, NCAA Football 24, and the Euros.
I kind of like that team there.
Yeah, some good teams. There's a lot to be looking forward to in this year. Let's give some honorable mentions.
My first honorable mention, I'm gonna go with. Sorry, Mondo, for being out of order, but
All
this
right.
this should have been my last pick. I'm gonna go with Tiger Woods. He said he's playing one tournament a month. He hasn't been this healthy since he broke every bone in both of his legs. He's walking now. It's a beautiful thing. He's got a huge upper body, and that's all he needs.
Yeah,
And the Masters is in 4 months. You already know he's grinding his ass off for that. He's not going to be a slouch there. Who
can't be
knows
a
what's going to
slouch.
happen? Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah. I got the return of fantasy football,
Yeah.
and I have 2025.
You're already looking ahead.
I'm a future guy.
2025. It's crazy how that's in 364 days.
We're almost there.
Yeah. It would be 363 if it wasn't for my third round pick.
You
A leap
bet.
year is great, man. I wonder how many Americans were born on a leap year. I haven't personally met anyone.
Yeah. I actually know someone, or I found out. So one of my friend's uncles is born on a leap year. So he's turning 15 this year, but he's really 60.
I'm pretty sure Tyrese Halliburton was born on a leap year.
I'm pretty sure he was too.
Let me
He's
take a
turning
look.
6
That's
this
like the
year.
greatest thing ever.
February 29th. Oops, I spelled
He's a
February.
15-year-old with grandkids.
Ja Rule was born that year. Tyrese Halliburton. A bunch of
Raul was born on a leap year.
TikTok stars.
Are you on
Um,
famousbirthdays.com?
yeah, a lot of TikTok stars.
Yeah, that's how it is these days on famousbirthdays.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, famous composer Gioacchino Rossini.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
Oh, yeah.
That guy.
Yeah,
Lilo
yeah.
Do It All. He
Oh, he does it all.
that he does. Um, yeah, it's just the first two are the
So Ja
real.
Rule and Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah. Ha, do you
Pretty
know
good.
Ferran Torres?
Yeah, he's a soccer player.
He's one of those guys.
Okay. Didn't know that. Also, I would have no reason to know his birthday besides he used to play for Man City. So,
Tony Robbins. I feel like I've heard
Tony
his
Robbins
name.
was born on a leap year.
Yeah.
Is he 10 years old?
Yeah.
15?
But yeah, that's like the
that's
main
cool.
people.
All right, I guess I'll say some of my honorable mentions. So most of mine got taken, but I'm just gonna say traveling because we used it in the thing, but everyone's kind of whether they have traveling plans, I'm looking forward to just kind of getting out of the state of Connecticut, hopefully make some return trips to Florida, do whatever. Um, and then let's see what else I had. A lot of mine actually got taken. So, oh, I guess another one, I guess it's kind of more personal, but everyone will be able to watch it. The TED TV show that comes out in like 2 weeks.
Wow. Where's it coming out on?
Peacock.
Hell yeah.
Fighting times.
Yeah, so that'll be entertaining,
Mark
hopefully.
Wahlberg in it?
Nope. It's
Mark Wahlberg's not in it. It is based on when Johnny is younger. So it's like Ted when he was younger growing up, but it's still going to be
Cool.
involved the same exact shit. Because
Yep.
Ted is basically still older Ted, and it's still played by Seth MacFarlane, except Johnny's younger.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping it's going to be quality.
I'm gonna add DJ Lagway.
Oh yeah, great one. Great,
Yep.
absolutely fantastic one.
Although I'm not looking forward to the Gators' schedule.
Yeah,
We're gonna win 3 games.
maybe.
We're gonna be happy.
Yeah, at least we tried.
But as a fan, it gives us a lot of good home games.
That one goes nice and hand in hand with Mondo's 2025 honorable mention.
That it does. That it does.
This is true.
All
Yeah.
right.
25, you get Arch Manning.
Okay.
Yeah, unless Quinn
GTA
Ewers,
6.
yeah, unless somehow Quinn Ewers declares or gets hurt, we could see Arch this year.
Okay. We'll take it.
Could be the
Yeah.
move.
All
Yeah.
right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, share with everyone you know. Please help us grow. I know we've been a little inconsistent with the holidays, but the boys are back better than ever and continuing to pump out content for you. So we will see you guys on the next episode. Peace.